Well, welcome to the Betfred Boxing Show with myself, Don McGuinness, and Anthony $1 Million Crolla. Looking $1 million in that nice salmon outfit you're wearing today. Anthony, talk us through it.
I'm trying, mate. I'm trying. It's the second time wearing. It's just a casual salmon tracksuit. Last time I had it on, I was with you in a Chinese karaoke bar at 1:30 in the morning. So yeah, good times in this thing.
Fabulous news. Well, Anthony, we are going to start the show with a look back to Manny Pacquiao's return at the age of 42. And last week, because we obviously only ever really want to highlight your successes, but this was a big success. You called it, you said Ugas would be the winner, that it was too much of a challenge for Pacquiao, even though he's meant to be fighting Errol Spence. And maybe that would have been obviously far too much for Pacquiao. As it was, Ugas too fresh, too big, too strong. Yeah,
I just felt like, and I think I said it last week, you've got to admire Manny Pacquiao. And you could say it's Ugas at 10, 11 days notice, but I don't know if he was meant to be on the card anyway, but to take that kind of challenge as a late replacement when he could have got away with it, he could have got away with a much, weaker opponent on paper. Ugas is a top level fighter. You've seen it in the Sean Porter fight. He's one of the very best welterweights out there. So, what I say, you take out, it's an unbelievable division. Your Errol Spence, your Crawford, and then obviously you have your Ortiz, your Ennis's, your Boots Ennis, but then also Ugas belongs with them. And it's been a great journey for him as well. But yeah, if you throw enough of them out there, one of them's going to stick. So yeah, it was a nice little prediction there.
So the prediction for Pacquiao now, do we see him again in a ring? What do you reckon?
I think we actually might see him again in the ring. Just sort of a bit of a farewell fight. He's got nothing else to prove. I like to say he's competitive in a fight, one of the top welterweights in the world. So there's still a lot of big fights he could win. But now I'd like to see him, bow out. Whether we see a fight in the Philippines that's been talked about with the right opponent, it's a possibility. But it's for me, it's the end of an amazing career. A once in a lifetime fighter, and someone who, like you say, it's been a privilege watching him over the years.
I don't think that can be overemphasized, his achievements from light flyweight to super welterweight. He's gone through those divisions. He's won 8 division titles. He's cleaned up in 4 weight divisions. It's astonishing, really, isn't it?
It's unreal. It's unreal. Like I say, it was a once in a lifetime fight. I mean, you've got to look how it happened years too late. Floyd Mayweather fight. However, you've then got to look at some of the opponents he fought after that and beat. Like Keith Thurman was flying at the time. He beats Thurman, who was seen as, in many people, the top welterweight in the world. There's been so many performances where you're just like, wow, just a unique, special fighter. I think the relationship with him and Freddie Roach has been one of the best trainer-fighter relationships in recent years. I'm saying that further than that. It's an Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah, and Freddie Roach. Interesting, really, as well, that I was hearing that there was a pact between the pair of them that if Pacquiao retired, Roach retired. Now, could you see that happening?
I don't think that will happen, in the sense that, Freddie's always in that wild card gym. He lives it. He's in there all hours. I think boxing's a huge part of his life. I mean, he gracefully called, and again, another Hall of Fame trainer. Unbelievable what he's done. But I think he's working with some top fighters, and I can't see him letting go just yet. But I have heard that in the past, so we'll never know.
Oh, well, moving on to the action at the York Hall last weekend as well, because it wasn't all about the stuff going on stateside. Fight Zone was in East London. And again, the top of the bill, well, it'd been a changing card. It'd been a real drama, I think, for the promoters, Alfie Warren and Mo Pryor, because fighters dropping out, making life very, very hard, but they still managed to put on a really good show. And Jez Smith returned. Obviously, his brother Mitchell, a real talent as well. And he stopped Scott Williams in the second round, a great body shot. And other than that, there was a good debut. Amy Andrew, another one to watch out in the female divisions. And Nathan Mizon with a very, very handy debut as well. Looks like a real talent. So again, another card that you always get to see some little gems and
a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything, like you said there. Mizon, very impressive on his debut. Listen, I think with Jez Smith and Scott Williams, it was always expected. Probably didn't expect to get him out there that early. So it's a great win, on paper, to get Scott out there so early. He's someone who rarely gets stopped. Amy Andrews, nice addition women's game. She's a great girl. She's been down in Bolton sparring a few times. Works very hard. She's been a long time waiting, to make her debut. So it's good for her to finally get off. And like you say, you feel for Mo and Alfie, like few last minute changes, but they managed to put on a good show. Still, like I say, it was far from ideal. And we said last time, it's always good to be at York Hall. Yeah,
absolutely is. And the Fight Zone bandwagon rolls back into Sheffield.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, there were so many open air shows in Sheffield throughout the early part of the summer. And now back at Ponds Forge, which has staged world title fights in the past. But this time, Anthony Tomlinson tops the bill. He's got a Mexican in front of him. We've seen what the Mexicans have been doing in the last 6 months, but he's got Dante Jardon. It's an IBO Intercontinental Welterweight title. But Tomlinson, you know all about him because your fighter, James Moorcroft, was going to fight Anthony Tomlinson. He's a great lad and he's got some power.
Yeah, he can punch. Like I was studying Anthony Tomlinson. Good fighter, very strong, very heavy-handed. Like you say, a great lad. We see him every week at Fight Zone. When we're there in Sheffield, when we was in the car park. Good lad. But, and I think, listen, with Anthony Yarde, he's been around a long time, the Mexican. I remember when I was around, makes me feel old, studying an opponent, we had common opponents, and I thought, would we meet at one time? But
Anthony, you only retired 18, 19 months ago or something. Come on, it's not that long ago.
I think, thanks, Tom. It means a lot. That makes me feel a bit better. However, it's, listen, the one thing for sure, I think, with Yarde, his best days are certainly behind him, but on paper, it's a nice step up for Anthony. He was always a huge lightweight, so for him up at welterweight now probably makes a little bit more sense at this stage of his career. But it'll be interesting. You can never underestimate Mexican. If Yarde's still got something left, things could get very interesting. But I expect it to be sort of a nice fight for him, and then a good learning fight, which he wants at this point in his career before he's let off the leash proper. But I think it's going to be a great show Friday night. I say the Ponds Forge it's hosted some great fights in the past. We're going to get a great crowd. You mentioned that. Michael Gomez Jr., he's in a very lively fight. Then we've also got Dave Allen, I'm sure, who we're going to catch up with shortly. But it's going to be a great card, and we said it last time, we're still getting used to crowds being back, but I think it's going to be a great crowd in there on Friday night.
Yeah, some great names as well. Mark Jeffers, who's a super talent.
Mark Jeffers, wow, yeah. I've seen a lot of, right from being a schoolboy, unbelievable schoolboy he was, and a few national titles, so strong, but I think the Jennings team there, they've got him using his brain a little bit more now, which is a good thing. Defensively, he's improving all the time. Good fighter.
Yeah, I think that central area super featherweight title fight between Salvin and Gomez Jr. that looks a real standout fight on the night.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah. Salvin there, he's like you say, both. He's undefeated. Junior isn't, but he looked very well last time out, improving. And I think the good thing with Gomez is found out a bit of stability now with Marvin Greaves, and I think he's needed that for a long time to have a base, be settled. He seems well settled, but with Salvin, he's fighting a good fight, a real interesting fight for me. That's going to be fight of the night, but we shall see.
And you touched upon the return of the White Rhino, Dave Allen, back in South Yorkshire, returning to a stage you know so well. But of course, you don't really know where to start when you talk about Dave Allen, do you? He's been our Fight Zone companion as well, part of the team on presentation duty as well for the last few months. But now he's getting the gloves back on. So a little bit earlier, I caught up with the main man himself. Well, it's a real pleasure to be joined by the one and only Dave Allen, who's making a comeback on Fight Zone this Friday. Now, firstly, Dave, you've been working with us on Fight Zone as a commentator, co-coms, and as a pundit as well. Is that really what's giving you the taste for getting back in the ring? You just can't be bothered with working with us anymore?
Well, as your commentary partner, it's great to see you, Dom, as always. But no, I initially... I was happily retired for 5 months. When I was 21 stone, happily retired. I was big, I was happy, I was away from boxing. And I started managing fighters. And I thought opportunities were hard to come by. Obviously, we're in lockdown. I spoke to Eddie. There was nothing for the fighters I managed with Eddie, obviously, because the fighters I manage, they're not superstars, which is what you need to go on a matchroom bill these days. So I was looking around, scouting around, and I thought, you know what? Fight Zone, it's new, it's fresh, it's innovative. I've got a good relationship with Den, and I spoke to him, and then we got talking. Anyway, I went back to the gym for a few weeks on the quiet, and I thought, oh, I feel all right, actually. Nothing was hitting me back at that point, but I thought, I feel all right. So I had another couple more weeks, and I went back and I said, then, look, I'm going to box. But if I box, you have to give the other fighters opportunities as well, because that's a big reason why I'm doing it. And at first, it was the only reason. The only reason I wanted to come back was so Stevie Levy, Levi Kinsey, and the others that I look after, the amateurs as well that come through, I thought I'd give them a head start. And anyway, I got in the gym and I started feeling good, started enjoying it. And now I'm excited. I'm excited to box as well. I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
Excellent. And Den that you referred to, Dennis Hobson, of course, the promoter that's one of the masterminds behind Fight Zone. But in terms of your training, because it's one thing going in the gym, and you mentioned it there when nothing's hitting your back. How was it sparring, and what kind of sparring have you been doing?
I've been sparring probably, I'm not sure, I don't want to disrespect anyone and say what level it's at, but these are people, I think I've had 4 spars, and 3 of them were in the process of turning professional. Now, none of them have seen the final bell. Right. So that tells me I'm not in bad shape. Not in bad shape at all. The thing with me, Dom, yeah, I'm an heavy-handed man, as you know. So I've just been sparring. I've been getting my timing back in. But as I've been getting my timing back in, because I've been training for 4 months now. I've been training for 4 months, and I've not been training to be sharp. And for this Friday, don't get me wrong, it's a must-win. But I ain't training for Friday like I'm headlining the O2 again. This is a stepping stone. So for 12, 13 weeks, all I was walking marathons. I was body sparring for hours on end. I was getting body fat off. I was building stamina, because for 12-round fights, yeah, which you never know, they may come back around again. I'm building building blocks. So yeah, the sparring I've been doing, I spar some good fighters, but they're not experienced enough to do 4 rounds with me. So that tells me the engine's there, because they couldn't keep. I've been maintaining a good pace. I can still punch. I'll always be able to punch a little bit. And to be honest, apart from the Lucas Brown fight, this is probably the best shape I've ever been in.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's only a few weeks ago you were doing some topless commentary in Sheffield when the sun was out at the Fight Zone Arena, and I've seen pictures of you very recently. And that's a massive transformation. You've dropped a lot of weight. You got very fit, very much in shape, and you look in better shape than you've ever been, to be honest. Yeah,
I'm heavier now than I was for a lot of fights, but I didn't go through puberty till I was very old. You know, might not want to know that, but I was a real late developer, yeah. And only at 28, 29 now, yeah, I might start to be a man. I've got an airy chest and a lot. Like, I'm proper thickened out. I've been doing weight training. I've been eating well, and I'm a beast. I feel it. I feel like a man for the first time ever. Do you know what I mean? So I can't wait. I feel like I'm hitting harder than ever. I'm stronger than ever. The drug test is going to put me house at 9 o'clock on Monday because they think I'm on the gear. And I said, no, I'm just a late developer, and I'm starting to flourish. So I'm over the moon with it. When the drug test turned up, I said, I am very happy to see you, because that means you're looking at my results and they must be good. So I'm over the moon with it. Yeah, I'm gonna be about 18 stone 8, which I've been before. But when I was 18 stone 8 before, I was chubby. I'm solid now, and I think I'm not sure you'll see a great performance. Right, I've been out a long time, I'm out of the ring a long time, but I'm fit, and I believe that'll see me through Friday with a win, and we can move on, and I'll only get better and better.
And you're in against a fairly tough operator, Andrea Pesky. He's been around a bit, hasn't he? What do you know of him?
Well, I've seen him, and up until his last fight, I'd been confident of getting stoppage. I saw him with Rudenko. I gave Rudenko a good workout, and Rudenko's a very good fighter. So I've got to be on the ball. You're going to see something different from me Friday, because I had 25 fights as a pro, yeah, and every single one I was in panic mode. I've got a free shot at the boxing game now. I've got a free shot at it. Like, whatever. If I get beat on Friday, I'll just say, you know what, it's gone, it's done, I'm over it. So I'm going to go in there and box how I can box. I've sparred the Furies, the Joshuas, the U6, and obviously what happened with U6 at the end of it. But I sparred well against all of them because I boxed. I can really box. And Friday, I believe I'll show that. The pressure's off, I'll show it. And he's a tough man, but I fully intend on getting him out of there after I give him a good old boxing lesson.
Well, there is no pressure really in a way, as you say, because no one's going to expect you to look dynamite after being out the ring for so long. But there's been lots of talk, and you've kind of we're behind the talk as well with Babić and all that kind of thing, but that's a long way off if it's to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, Alen Babic's fight is I spoke to Eddie in Newcastle at the Ritz, Bill, and he said to me, you and Alen Babić are one of the biggest fights in boxing. which might sound ridiculous, but boxing isn't just about being a world. I know world champions that can't sell 20 tickets. So when you get me and another madman from Croatia who can fill the O2 together, it becomes a massive fight, because massive fights aren't world titles if no one's watching it. I don't care how good someone is. If no one's watching them, what's the point? What's the point in doing it? But me and him sell. It's a massive fight. I hope it could happen, but I'm not boxing Alen Babic. I'm not boxing anyone if I don't believe I can beat him. So for that reason, I won't be boxing Alen Babic this side of 2021, because I wouldn't beat him. Give me all the money, give me £1 million. I'm not sitting on my backside for no one. So them fights. Oh, I love them to come back around. I'd love to get back to the O2. I'd love to do better than I did the first time around. Is that plausible? I don't know. Maybe not. But we'll find out. Because I'm just enjoying it. And as you know, fight, obviously, I'm free interviews late at the minute, but that's what 5 weeks all about. You know what I mean? I'm loving it.
Yeah, well, you're only 29, so as comebacks go, you're still a baby, and you're still active, basically. When we look at some of the other comebacks that, you know, we'll see David Hayes soon back in a ring. Oscar De La Hoya wants to get back in a ring. You know, there's all sorts going on with that. Sergio Martinez is going to fight Brian Rose. I mean, what do you make of all these comebacks?
Well, I think they're good, Dom. Now I'm doing it. But
the
difference, you know about me, you know Conor Benn, right? Conor Benn, has had 44 amateur and pro fights, but he's a novice, isn't he? Everyone says he's a novice. Take your time. He's a relative novice. Anthony Yarde had about 40 fights, amateur and pro combined. He's a novice. Oh, let's all take time. I've had 35 fights, amateur and pro. Even now, as I sit here now, in my 20th fight, amateur and pro with Dylan White, 21st Luis Ortiz, my 24th ever time in a boxing, amateur or pro. I'm doing a 12-rounder at a football stadium for the Commonwealth title. I'm still a novice.
Because you've had some crazy fights, though, haven't you? That's the thing.
Yeah, but I had 10 amateur fights in like 9 4-rounders. I mean, with Dylan White and Ortiz back to back, and people I think people always assumed I've been doing boxing for a long time. I haven't. I was a baby at it, and you know what? You only get one go at it. They say you don't. You get two. I'm back. So we'll see.
Well, listen, I wasn't comparing your comeback in a serious way to a David Hay having a little play around with his mate or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But it's very, very different. And I know that you do have genuine ambition. And I know that with your fighters that you're managing, it is a good opportunity. It makes a lot of sense. And you are a drawer, as you're finding out. There's a lot of attention and fight week. But one thing that I need to know, because we spoke about this a while ago, are you coming back as the White Rhino, or is this a new Dave Allen? Is there a new name? Is there a new image? What's going on?
I'm just David Allen, Dom. Do you know what I mean? I'm just me.
Is the White Rhino dead?
Well, I don't think I'm the only one left, so I'm going to have to keep it going, otherwise they're all gone. So, but no, call me what you want. You know what I mean? As long as it's not anything really bad, call me what you want. I'm not bothered. But I'm coming back a lot. You know what? What it is I need to win to keep things going. What they're going. You know, Levi and Stevie on Friday. If they're going to box again before the end of the year, once or twice, I've got to win. Because I'm a draw today, I'm a draw tomorrow, I'm a draw Friday, lose Friday, Saturday, I'm forgot about. So I perform better. I do better at everything in life when I've got someone relying on me and I've got to do it for someone else. But I do it for myself. I'm not really that interested. Friday.
Very good. But
Friday I'm boxing a plum down. Both now I'm boxing a plum. And what happens to plums? They get eaten, don't they?
Well, we'll look forward to that. Now, just before you go, you are the centre of attention, obviously, this weekend, but there is a little skirmish over the pond. I'm just wondering, are you interested in this Jake Paul Woodley fight? I mean, Dubois is on the undercard, as is Tommy Fury, again, so it kind of adds weight to it. What do you make of it all?
Do you know what I'm interested in? Anthony Tomlinson main event on Fights on Friday. That interests me, you know. Other fight, I'm not the main event fighter, so let's not get that wrong.
I know. Anthony's fighting Dante. That's a good fight as well.
Great fight. Mark Jeffers, Tommy Hodgson, Kane Salvador Gomez Jr. However, Jake Paul, I'm not interested. I don't stay up. It's 11 o'clock anymore. That's why I'm not on chief support on Friday. I'm not staying up that late. I'll be in bed. Daniel Dubois. I take Daniel Dubois very seriously. I think he's going to be heavyweight champion of the world in 4 or 5 years' time. He's the main man. I think he's going to be fantastic. Tommy Fury's a serious boxer, and he's going over there to make a few quid. Fair play to him. Jake Paul Woodley, I haven't got a clue. I do not know, Dom. I'm not a liar. I'm not going to lie to you. I hope Woodley wins because Well, I don't know, because I take Jake Paul seriously as a boxer as well. And I will. And if he beats Woodley, I take him very seriously. And if he goes on to fight Tommy Fury and beat him or put up a good performance, Jake Paul's trained harder than I ever trained. So I'm not going to sit here and slag him off because he grasps very hard. So, but they're all making money, aren't they, Dom? And that's professional boxing. That's what it's all about. So fair play to them all. But I won't be watching it because it's on too late. I'm not paying £17 to stay up. Why would I pay? It's punishment to stay up that late. I'm not paying to stay up that late. But people will, so fair play to them.
Well, people can pay to see you $4.99 on Fight Zone on Friday. That's well worth it because, as you say anyway, it's a great card as well. Anthony Tomlinson, your mate from Sheffield, he's on it. There's a great central area belt with Salvin and Gomez. That's a cracker. Jeffers is going to be a star, isn't he?
Well, I don't know because I've never seen him, but I've heard very good things.
I'm telling you.
Well, I hope so. But let me tell you something. I'm usually on Sky Box Office, which is $19.95. So you're saving nearly 15 quid, Dom. Come on.
Yeah, and it's going to be entertaining. We know you're going to entertain, Dave, so we're going to look forward to it.
That's what I'm all about. You know, the boxing, obviously I'm a boxer, but I'm entertain the first, box the second, love a third.
And I look forward to seeing Kincione and Levy again. Levy's a character. So, have a great night anyway on Friday, Dave. Enjoy the whole thing, and we will catch up, obviously.
I will see you there, Dom.
Good man.
See you later, mate.
Well, a typical Dave Allen chat, really, Anthony. He's very excited about the weekend. He's under no illusions about the future and everything else, but always in good form, isn't he? Always interesting to hear from.
Always entertaining. Always very honest, probably a bit too honest at times, but no, it's good. And listen, I've got to be honest, not many comebacks end up, with the happy ending. However, he looks in great shape. Mentally, he seems good. And you've got to remember sort of the 18 months or so he's had out, he wouldn't have been too active. And that's probably like I said, Dave would have there's always work for Dave. So he probably would have fought, but hopefully it's done him a bit of good. And like I say, there's still some, if he starts Friday, he's got to get off to a winning start on Friday, but there's still big fights domestically out there for him. And, Dave's very realistic in what he's aiming for. And if the break's done him good, he's in fantastic shape. So he has to get seriously as much as he jokes. But as I've ever seen him physically, it seems going to be interesting. And I look forward, like you say, to seeing him back out. Always fun.
One thing that we did touch on there, obviously, was the action over the weekend and Jake Paul back in action. And Dave, only half joking, saying that Jake Paul trains a lot harder than he ever trained or has ever trained as a fighter. So he's kind of giving him credit on that one. But he goes in against Tyron Woodley now, who's another former UFC fighter. So I think he's had a few professional bouts, Jake Paul, but he's still yet to fight a boxer. So as well as he trains, as serious as he's taking it, and we can't take that away from him. Again, Woodley, is this going to be a proper fight? What do you expect?
Well, Woodley, I'm very knowledgeable about the UFC, but what I will know is that Tyron Woodley wasn't known for his stand-up striking. So, again, I think they've been very smart in the opponent they've picked, a very well-respected name, former champion. But he isn't known for his boxing. But I think his boxing will certainly be a lot better than Ben Askren because he's working with Pedro Diaz, who was, for me, an unbelievable Cuban coach. He's worked with some great fighters, Miguel Cotto, so many good fighters. Hrgovic, the big heavyweight at the minute. I think he'll ask a few more questions than Ben Askren, but I think you've got to favour the problem child, haven't you? It is the problem child, isn't it? Logan Paul, he's got a different name, isn't he? Who's someone there and someone the problem child?
You might well be right. But the thing is as well, interestingly, really, as far as this card's concerned, on the undercard, there are a couple of Brits, and one of them, and you can see where it's going because Jake Paul fights this fella, obviously Woodley, and then Tommy Fury is also on the bill. There's been a little bit of back and forth between the two of them. Yes. Now, when you break it all down, they're two novice professional boxers. But it would be very interesting to see him go in with Tommy Fury, who, is a boxer. Yeah,
he is actually a boxer. And Tommy only had like a limited amateur experience. But yeah, it'd be much more, it's a fight I favour Tommy. for sure. Usually, which is my worry why it might not happen, because I'd be very confident of Tommy beating him. But it's you never know because of the hype. And listen, those Paul brothers, no matter what you say about it, unbelievable businessmen, the following and stuff like that. But Tommy's got a huge social media following himself. So it could happen. It could happen. It could make sense.
Let's face it, it's an incredibly marketable fight, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course it is. And there's a great chance that some kind of scuffle or some kind of hat being nicked is going to happen. So listen, both come through weekend, which you expect them to. There will be more talk of Jake Paul, Tommy Fury.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tommy Fury is fighting Anthony Taylor in a catchweight contest, but he shouldn't have too many problems there. And also in action, for the second time since he's lost to Joe Joyce, is Daniel Dubois against Joe Cusimano. And again, he should be okay. But it's great for these two lads to get out on US soil and have a fight in a different environment, isn't it?
Of course it is. It's nice for them to tick off. And Daniel Dubois, we think there's a great chance. I think Dave Allen mentioned it about him being world champion in 4 years. There's a great chance we could see Daniel Dubois in, the bright lights of it, whether it be Vegas, wherever it be, somewhere in America for sure. I rate him highly. He just come up against a brilliant heavyweight in Joe Joyce. But I certainly believe he can still become world champion. Teamed up with Shane McGuigan now. It's their second fight together. Be interesting to see the improvements. It'd be good to see him back out. Obviously, we expect him to come through, but it's good to see him back out again after the eye injury, which was a worry after the Joyce fight. But yeah, he's inactive, and then I'm sure we'll see him in a decent fight towards the end of the year.
Yeah, Shane McGuigan certainly doing good things with his stable of fighters as well. Talented trainer, Shane. But back on these shows as well this weekend, we have Anthony Yarde. It's a Queensbury card. He takes on Alex Ferran in the light heavyweight. We've also got Hakeem Ennis-Brown against Sam Maxwell.
Yes.
That for the British super lightweight. And Anthony Kikache against Leon Woodstock. Now, just before we go into all of these, I'm guessing, well, I know you've sparred Kikache you've done many rounds with him because I've witnessed that myself. I'm presuming you've been in with Sam Maxwell?
I have, yes. We've done a little bit of sparring.
What about Leon Woodstock? Have you sparred Leon Woodstock as well?
I've not sparred Leon, no. I've not sparred Leon, but obviously I know Sam well. I know Kikache very well he was there actually. I think when in Irish fights we brought him over, a very talented lad, and I'm glad he finally got his opportunity. And he took it. He boxed lovely against Sam Bowen, who was, like I say, everyone's seen as the real danger man in that superweight division. But yeah, Kikache, I think you hear, and I know it from sparring him. I know Carl Frampton praises him usually. Like people who've worked alongside him say one of the most talented fighters worked alongside. Great lad. He's not one for your social media and stuff like that. He's just out and out boxer, family guy, but a great guy. And Sam Maxwell as well. I know very well. That's a fight I'm really looking forward to. I think you probably heard me say I sound like a broken record. You rarely see a bad British title fight, and that's one I'm really looking forward to. But again, Kikache and Woodstock. Woodstock handled himself very well with Zelfa Barrett that time. So he didn't come away with a win, but we know the talent that Zelfa is. So he's in that mix. I expect two good fights. Hakeem Ennis-Brown's on a real roll, and I know the winner of that, we say you win that British title with the Commonwealth as well. It's then what comes with the fight after that. You're bordering on fringe world class. So it's a massive fight for both of them. I know both want to be world champions. All four of them want to be world champions, but it's a big, big step to win that, then to move on. What the winner will definitely feel that they're ready for both fights.
So if I quickly put you on the spot, Kikache Woodstock, who's it going to be?
Kikache. I go my mate Kikache. I think it's a good fight, but boxing skills, and he hits a lot harder than, I was going to say, anyone, than his records. Just anyone who knows him will say how hard he hits. But I think it's distance. But I'm looking forward to that. Woodstock, very tough. And,
so Ennis-Brown, Maxwell?
I'm going Maxwell. Great amateur pedigree. But Ennis-Brown has got the style, which will cause problems. Very unorthodox, very awkward. But you can't say that as in in a disrespectful way because everyone's struggled to solve it so far, with him. But I think we see Maxwell having a strong second half of the fight and winning a close points decision.
Yeah, Maxwell, of course, had those 2 fights with Lomachenko in the World Series of Boxing. Lomachenko, of course, one of your old mates as well, Anthony. But then another Anthony Yarde, then, he's back in action. And if he gets past Tyron in this clash, obviously the whole point of this fight is to just tee up very nicely the rematch with Lyndon Arthur in October, which Frank Warren is presuming that Yarde gets through this one. Just can't afford any slip-ups, can he? And then he gets a chance at revenge.
Yeah, of course. Everyone will look forward to the rematch. And I think, again, the winner of that fight goes on to fight for a world title, the mandatory for the WBO. So, big, there's a lot on the line for both. Yarde, he's been a bit unlucky since, I think he had an injury, then he had to pull out. He's had a tough past 12 months, so it's good to see him back out. But then you expect to, get the few rounds in. I think he's made, obviously, Tundi's still the main man, but I think he's also brought in, was it James Cook?
James Cook's involved now, yeah. James
Cook involved, so we'll be looking to see, a few improvements. But still expect Anthony to come through it and set up that rematch with Lyndon Arthur.
And that's another one, isn't it? That's a great one to look forward to as well. But more of that nearer the time. Hopefully Anthony Yarde gets through this one anyway. But well, that's about it, really, Anthony. I mean, other than that, have you any news from your 2 gyms, if you like, your own stable that you train at Fox ABC, and then also Joe's stable in Bolton that you assist with?
Callum Thompson made a real good debut last week. That was a very impressive debut over 6 rounds. Marcus Morrison, he was back against our mate Pooch. It was just a run out there, 2 points wins. But then I know, for me, I've got a busy 10th, 11th, 12th. So 10th, be in London with Joe, with Callum Thompson. 11th, Jake James. Sunday afternoon, which is the 12th, Rhiannon Dixon, James Moorcroft. So busy time. And Callum Johnson is on the 11th, but I'm in a beautiful Bolton and not so much the Copper Box for the second night and those 2 shows there. So over there, he's in Callum Johnson's on the Saturday night. So hopefully get Jake on at a decent time and then watch Callum Johnson on the television.
Talking about television, it's one of your favourite things, watching television, particularly Love Island. So, go on, is it over yet?
It's over. Of course it's over, Dom. Yeah, it was. I'm not going to lie, Dom. I was a little bit surprised, I think, talking about giving the Pacquiao Ugas prediction and getting that right. I got the Love Island one wrong. I thought that Chloe and Toby was nailed on to win it. But I think the whole of Wales must have got behind Liam and Miller. A great, 2 great love stories, wasn't perfect, speed bumps in the road, but both couples seem to have got that happy ending, and it's nice to see. And it's just going to be interesting now that hopefully it is real love that they found, and it wasn't, a deal with a clothing brand or anything like that. But it was a bit of a slow burner this year, I've got to be honest, Love Island. It's not been the best one, but all in all, we've seen a few great love stories, Kaz and Tyler again. Every one of them had moments in it. The final 4, Faye and Teddy, very controversial, but all 4 of them have walked away. And I think they're going to get a few Love Island weddings out of the 4 that got in the final this year.
Well, that is great news. That really is. What are you going to do now then? What's going to entertain you?
I don't know. I'm going to have to grow up, I think, now. And I'm trying to think what else we got. I'll start studying my fighters' opponents now.
Hey, that's a good idea. As a boxing trainer, why not?
I think I'll start studying my fighters' opponents now Love Island's ended.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, that's great news for all involved. So, well, you do that and have a great week. In fact, I'll see you on Friday in Sheffield, Anthony.
I will see you Friday.
Right, and then next week we look forward to, and we'll have all the build-up ahead of Josh Warrington's return. So it keeps on coming on the Betfred Boxing Show, doesn't it?
Over to Edinburgh for a massive show, which I cannot wait for.
All to come. But thank you very much indeed for watching the Betfred Boxing Show.